age of the Akosombo Dam, as well as the heavy downpours that were experienced in the northern sections of this country, actually affected a lot of people. And particularly, the recent one, which involved the spillage of water from the Akosombo Dam, caused significant disruptions and distress among the affected population. We are told in the assessment that over 35,857 people totally have been affected across 184 communities. And out of this, again, our assessment indicates that 8,843 of them are currently housed in safe havens, which is about 27 of them in places like North Tong, Central Tong, Shai Osudoku, the Asojaman, Adan East, and Angloga districts. You may also recall that the Ghana Red Cross Society had already taken some proactive steps at the very initial stages to address some of the immediate needs of the affected population. The National Society dispatched 100 emergency family tents and shelter repair kits to these established temporary evacuation centers. And the intention was to shelter at least 600 displaced families. Furthermore, a dedicated team of 80 trained volunteers was also deployed to disseminate critical health messages related to waterborne diseases. They also provided first aid and distributed aquatabs for water treatment, purification, and also ensuring public health safety at that stage. We know the flood also brought in its wake the threats and risk of epidemic and disease outbreak, some of which are malaria, cholera, typhoid, diarrhea, and other intestinal related infections. We also got to know that the risk of snake bites as a result of these animals being driven out of their natural habitats and then finding safer hiding places in surroundings of these communities. The sanitation facilities obviously are inadequate, and this in itself poses a significant risk for the outbreak of waterborne diseases. Additionally, we are also aware there's a shortage of clean water within these centers, and the displaced families obviously also need food supplies, including non-perishable items like blankets, clothing, and utensils for cooking. Generally, many individuals also have lost their source of income due to the floods. There is therefore the need for initiatives that promote economic recovery and livelihood support. Some of the diverse livelihoods affected include farmers, fishermen, artisans, and trading activities. And with no money to buy food, you can really, and other essentials, you can imagine the situation on the ground. The displaced families are in dire need of food supplies, as well as essential non-food items like blankets, clothing, and cooking utensils. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Red Cross Society, as a humanitarian organization, is actively coordinating and collaborating with local authorities, national disaster management agencies, non-governmental organizations, and other relevant stakeholders to ensure what is principally and ensure a cohesive and effective response. In response to the dire humanitarian situation caused by these floods, the Ghana Red Cross Society is happy to announce a very important partnership with Rotary International District 9104. And District 9104 has generously donated an amount of 100,000 cedis to support the procurement of essential food and non-food items for those affected by this devastating disaster. And we have gone ahead to sign an MOU which defines the parameters within which this support must be manifested on the ground. Additionally, and quite significantly too, we have had the individual contribution from one Mr. and Mrs. Dennis of Dansuman, and they graciously donated to the Ghana Red Cross Society for onward transmission to the affected, displaced families, the quantity of 3 bags of cement, 1 piece of mattress, and a quantity of used shoes. Distinguished colleagues, again, the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent, that's the IFRC, through what we call the Disaster Response Emergency Fund, has also provided a relief support in the sum of 462,699 CHF, that's Swiss francs, to procure and distribute the following items to 12,000 flood-affected families within the Savannah and Volta regions. And some see now saying disaster flood or Savannah and Volta region. Now Ghana Red Cross Society, Bribia no same say ebutai ne say ebemo modin pa ma say nipa ekwa onye mu no ebebre anhiem na fini ama omotibre mu no so ayeye na asem sie no ye de emwakoi de koi na ye tents friend emergency tents na ye wa ye de koi and a Sunday repair kit so kan koi na assessment na say on the ground no the team who ni say emwa no be hia dodo na the dodo no be hia no so no se bi ni sika ni tina se ni omani omudi sa so no bi hu komo ntini sabiri na yesaka emwa kakra afri ya yeku batan ye friend International Federation of Red Cross IFRC na Swiss mamusika no woman ni dro be ahanan ni akiri ntino na se esdi tuja ni ma yi mo sem first central for isi hu se juma ye die nie na fi se ne be ya amani nyina so bi hu se nia ese ye anabota esi yeso no etie ni so no bitima ye man awie peye nti sasika saken ese to ho niema aye shelter kits ibi na hygiene kits na say no se be ye ma ahosiesie no awie peye nti bi ni se kits ni bi no wo sanitary pads ene bathing soap ni na heka ho nti no be chama se bi nipa disaster no affect you no water region and Savannah and nipa ni nyina no e kamubom households no mpimienu disan nipa mpimienu ana ifim mpimienu e bechiche ma bia so nyane de na eno pa ho a mosquito net treated mosquito net so no eno so bi ka ho na fi Baby, I'm with me a crowd musu, and so I'm benom no better no aduane, and so a home jerry cans so a be. Now, some more aqua taps in here. Sabi draw with the two suma. A tima home a tick crunching, nabitimanum, nabitim so a beer and no aduane. During anime, I said, a de bois or more flats in affect you, and I didn't and the brie.